Let's see if they can get that on the screen. Hey, look at that. Hey, everybody. My name is Jared Bendis, and normally I'm here from Case Western Reserve University, but they have nothing to do with this project. But I also teach game design at the Cleveland Institute of Art. They also have nothing to do with this project. So I own a publishing company that publishes books and games and apps called Atbosh Media, and they actually have to do with this project. Also, I'm sort of co-presenting today with Pamela and Thomas, whose names I will respect enough not to try to pronounce, from the Cleveland Playhouse. So the Compassionate Arts Remaking Education or CARE program places artists hired by the Playhouse in schools to help students with social and emotional learning skills. This is a program that they have in place right now. They take theater artists, they send them to Cleveland City schools, and they have them work with these kids to teach them emotional intelligence, which is a really great and wonderful thing, and I guess the kids really love it. Well, there's, and the quote from Pamela is, "This is what theater does. It allows you to practice your emotions, to try them on, and see what happens in a controlled environment." So I get this headline, Cleveland Playhouse wins $2 million grant to help Cleveland students manage their emotions. And they're like, and Jared, your company's doing the apps. And I'm like, yeah, that's really awesome. Because that's literally how I found out about it. So the challenge is this: design a suite of apps that foster social and emotional intelligence across 3 age groups, K2, 3, 5, and 6, 8. And those are some hard groups, by the way. Tablet-based and extremely replayable, because they're going to be working with these things throughout the entire year. Matter of fact, over many years. So the initial ideas were going to be a visual poetry generator, some reverse Mad Libs, some choose your adventure, very short stories. None of them have to do with anything I'm about to present today, because on my way to the meeting, I had this aha moment. Even though this is what I was pitching them, I'm like, wait a second, I'm driving to the meeting, I'm like, I've got it. And I walk in and I go, I've got another app for you. And like, we're only paying you for 3. I'm like, I'm doing it anyway. Imagine Bejeweled with Faces. Now, what this really means is it's like a Stroop Test, and we all know the Stroop Test where the words and the matches don't match. But now imagine for a moment you're doing this with emotions, where all of a sudden you're going to take these 12 characters, which I had designed by one of my wonderful art students, because remember I teach game design at Cleveland Institute of Art. So she designed for me 2 genders and 6 races across 16 emotions. And if you can't know what those 16 emotions are, there they are labeled. And if you're wondering where I got my 16 emotions from, it's wonderful working with theater people, because they like go, here's them emotions for you. And it creates an extremely wonderful data set. So this is 16 emotions across 12 different characters. And then what ends up happening is we were going to design a match 3 game. The problem is that match 3 didn't work. It became way too complex, way too fast. So instead, we started playing with, maybe it could be just like a concentration type game where you flip them over, and then that was too complex. So then we decided, let's just change it around a little bit. So instead, it's actually a matching game where you can see everything. So we have 3 different stages: a 4x4 with 4 emotions, a 6x6 with 8 emotions, or a 8x8 with 12 emotions. And let me come over here and show you what that looks like. There we go. So I come over here and I click on this and I go, ooh, that's angry. Which one is angry? There you go. Good job. And this is happy and this is happy. And the trick is you have to learn to ignore race and gender. You have to literally learn to identify the emotions. To solve this puzzle is to understand what emotions look like. And that's really what this is all about. If you're wondering, by the way, why there's no Native Americans here, there is like a 0% Native American population in the city of Cleveland, and it was just a decision that we had to make at the time. I apologize. If we had time to go in to do more, we would. So we just, it was a triage thing. I know someone's going to ask. So again, we do this, and it gets more and eventually more complex. So you're not coming up there with a gong, are you? Anyway, it becomes more and more complex, and they're building, and we build these things, and we sent them out there for them to play with, and it's pretty interesting. Matter of fact, the kids really like it, and they like to study it. Uh-oh, I went to the wrong slide. There we go. No, it doesn't really matter. I can do this. Here we go. Anyway, so what ended up happening is we found out the kids were going for speed, not accuracy. That's one of the things. So now we're actually working on a new version to try to encourage that. As a matter of fact, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to actually make it so they don't actually get to see their time unless they hit a level of accuracy. And that's going to sort of reverse encourage them. These are things that we just came up with last week. And also the labels became a crutch. So for the little kid ones, having the labels on were good, but for the older kids, we're going to make it so labels don't show up until afterwards. Again, we're trying to sort of tweak their experiences here. It looks random, but it really isn't. Now, if you look at this link over here, you can try it for yourself. Now, technically, this is a closed system, but during the beta period, you're all welcome to go and play with it on any device you'd like. Try it for yourself and email me some feedback. Thank you very much.